Hello and welcome to Nationwide, reaching you on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. I'm Lami Ali. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. Nigeria says it is committed to supporting efforts at bringing peaceful resolution and reconciliation on the Korean Peninsula. President Muhammadu Buhari stated this in his address to the World Summit 2022, organized by the Universal Peace Federation. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports that the hybrid summit has as its theme reconciliation and peace in the Korean Peninsula through multi-sectoral peace-building initiatives in Asia and in the world.
For this summit, a convergence of global leaders and intellectuals taking place in Seoul, South Korea, is exploring ways towards achieving peaceful reconciliation on the Korean Peninsula. In his virtual address to the summit, President Muhammadu Buhari said the Korean Peninsula has been a flashpoint of conflict lingering many decades and therefore deserving the attention of world leaders for a peaceful resolution.
The Nigerian government encourages and supports every effort to promote understanding and a commitment to peace among the governments and people of both Koreas, and has for a long time maintained relations with them at ambassadorial level. We have enjoyed cordial relations with both Koreas in trade and commerce, education, cultural exchange, and technology transfer.
The Korean situation, as defined by its history and geography, the president said, is unique in the sense that as the only nation in the Asia-Pacific region that remains divided since the Cold War era, peace on the Korean Peninsula has far-reaching implications to the region, if not the world at large.
And so, when it comes to what needs to be done to ensure lasting peace on the peninsula, we are happy to be part of it. All countries have one crisis or the other that they are dealing with. What is important is the commitment to arrive at a true and lasting peace through the most peaceful process.
Certain examples with his administration's comprehensive peace plan for the Northeast, as well as other peace-building and conflict management practices being institutionalized, President Buhari said strong support will continue to be provided to peace initiatives and efforts in the West African sub-region.
We shall continue to pioneer and collaborate with all such efforts in resolving conflicts and bringing lasting peace and security to the West African sub-region. We are open to continuous partnerships with both local and international organizations, such as the Universal Peace Federation, to achieve lasting peace in the world. I am optimistic that if we prioritize mutual cooperation and peaceful coexistence, the growth and prosperity of humanity is assured.
The president called on participants, especially the global leaders, to not only join efforts, but genuinely commit themselves towards achieving a just and peaceful world. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
A new working document for the All Progressives Congress, APC, is close to being produced ahead of the February 26, 2022 APC National Convention. The Governor, Mai Mala Buni-led CECPC said the proposed amended constitution, when approved and ratified by the highest decision-making organ of the party, will clarify the ambiguities in the 2014 constitution. Sali Uganara reports.
Since its formation as a political party in 2013, APC Constitution 2014 as amended has been the only working document. The document, political analysts say, has played significant role in guiding the party to electoral victory on the national stage in 2015 and 2019. In line with contemporary political challenges and the increasing membership drive of the party, the Governor Mai Mala Buni-led CECPC has added the review of the party's constitution to its task of building a stronger party. Already, the CECPC, through its national secretary, John James Akpan Odoedehe, in a statement said, party faithful, particularly members of the National Convention, have been served notice of the proposed amendment in accordance with Article 33 of the All Progressives Congress Constitution. The statement adds that the Constitution Review Committee, under the chairmanship of Professor Tahiru Mamman, reviewed the Constitution in accordance with Article 30, which provides for constitutional amendment, whose proposals include the introduction of National Advisory Council, which replaces Board of Trustees, and the creation of Zonal Congress, recognition and expansion of platforms for participation of critical groups such as women, youth, and persons with disabilities, clarification of the powers of the National Executive Committee, NEC, and the National Working Committee, NWC, as well as disciplinary procedures, amongst other issues. Come February 26, 2022, when the proposed amended document is ratified and adopted, stakeholders of the party are expectant that it will rebrand APC ahead of the general elections. In Abuja, Salio Guanara, NTA News.
Now, to enhance local government administration in Ondo State, chairmen of the 18 local government areas now have brand new pickup vehicles courtesy of the governor, Oluwarotimi Akeredolu. In the same vein, the State Security Network, codenamed Amotekun, received 3 of such vehicles to boost security operations in the state. Toyin Batiri reports.
The governor handed over the vehicles to the council chairman and the special advisor to the governor on security matters, who doubles as the commander of the Amotekun Corps, Chief Adetunji Adeleye. Governor Akeredolu explains that the vehicles were distributed to ensure smooth operations at the local government level.
Use these vehicles very well, because you are chairman today, you might not be the chairman next time. Get the vehicles registered in the name of the local government.
Right from our election time to date, you have never relented in supporting us. We pledge and we promise, sir, that irrespective of anything, the local government will continue to be solidly behind your government.
Governor Akeredolu last year commissioned and distributed 18 units of SEM 919 motor graders for the usage of the 18 local governments in the state. In Akure, Toyin Batiri, NTA News.
Citizens' participation has over time proven to be a key element of good governance. This approach is what the Yobe State House of Assembly has resolved to adopt as it collaborates with connected developments in its Open Parliaments program. Ekene Dulwe reports.
Oftentimes, the local population are found to be unaware of programs or bills coming out from their various state houses of assembly. This situation largely contributes to the quality of bills that come out of these houses, some of which are disconnected from the people. The Open Parliament Nigeria, launched by Connected Development, targets to bridge this gap and ensure citizens participate in parliamentary processes. Yobe State is among the first states to pilot the program, and members of its House of Assembly are in this hall to weigh the benefits.
We would ensure that as plenaries are ongoing, we use traditional means and even technology means to amplify what is happening in real time, but also get feedback from their various constituencies and ensure that the laws that they are passing are citizen-friendly.
For the lawmakers, improved citizens' engagement will go a long way in addressing the peculiar security challenges in Yobe State.
We are seriously in need of the kind of project like this project in Yobe for the insurgencies that devastated all our areas about 11 years now.
In the coming days, a memorandum of understanding is expected to seal this new partnership towards ensuring accountability in Yobe State. Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Adeola in Lagos studio is ready with the next set of reports. Hello, Adeola. It's over to you.
Olemi, and thank you. Nigerians have been admonished to embrace unity and love to fast-track the nation's development. This is the summation of speeches at an event that signaled the end of activities for operatives of the Nigerian Army in Lagos. Samuel Johnson has the report.
Being in core operations of the military, including the Nigerian Army, is demanding and often takes personnel away from their families. Rounding off the year with successes recorded pave way for the soldiers to meet their loved ones, hence the celebration of the West African Social Activities, WASA.
The essence of this WASA is to create an atmosphere where the commanders and troops are under the command and their families come together to interact in a relaxed atmosphere.
For families and friends of the personnel of the Army, WASA is desirable.
If this is done on a regular basis, it sends signal to the fact that we are one.
It's fun, alhamdulillah, everything went well, and we are so happy to celebrate the annual WASA.
The officers appeal to Nigerians to embrace peace and unity for the country's economic and political development.
In the military, we are one family.
Guests at the event include the Zonal Director, NTA Lagos Network Center, Nick Oyinsi. In Lagos, Samuel Johnson, NTA News.
In furtherance of its commitment to stem the tide of poverty and raise the status of indigent women from dependency to self-reliance, Lagos State Government has taken its short-term skill acquisition programs to coastal communities across the metropolis. Musa Toliat reports that more than 250 indigent women and girls benefited from one of such programs, which rounded off in a railway riverine community in Lagos.
It was endless joy for these indigent women and girls in Irewe coastal community as they displayed various quality products made by them after completing a 4-week intensive short-term skill acquisition training organized by the Lagos State Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
We've learned how to do batik, Kampala of different design. We've learned how to mix dye. They taught us how to make up, how to tie hair.
Today is one of my happiest days because such a thing have never happened.
Resource persons took the participants through the rudiments of fabric embellishments, catering, bead making, tie and dye, hair braiding, wig making, throw pillows and duvet making, as well as Ankara crafts, while the short-term skills acquisition training lasted.
This particular short-term training is targeted at women drawn from the riverine areas within Lagos State to be productive, develop a sustainable source of livelihood, to support their families and contribute to the society.
We are the LSTF, the Lagos State Trust Employment Fund, to be able to assist them so that in case they need loans, many are ignorant, but with the right knowledge now, they know that they can even form clusters to begin their own business.
About 80,000 women and young adults have so far benefited from short and long-term skills acquisition programs of the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
And a quick reminder is that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live, on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, a Twitter handle NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. The news continues with Fatima in Makurdi after this timeout to stay on.
Hello and a warm welcome to Makurdi. As the world marks Cancer Day, the Medical Women Association in Benue State reveals that 1 out of 7 women is likely to suffer cervical cancer as indicated by 2021 statistics. This figure, medical experts say, it is not only alarming but threatening, and that urgent attention must be paid to its prevention and treatment. Blessing Omecha Ebute reports.
Cancer, according to the World Health Organization, is a leading cause of death worldwide, which accounts for nearly 10 million deaths annually. In Nigeria, more than 100,000 new cancer cases were recorded in 2021 alone, now making cancer a leading public health problem. Benue State is not left out in this increasing cancer rate, as breast and cervical cancers account for about 50% of the cases recorded. The Medical Women Association in Benue State, while giving statistics for 2021, say out of the 771 women screened for cervical cancer, 107 of them tested positive.
We have gone to a few local governments in each of the senatorial districts to screen women for cervical cancer free of charge. And in these places we've been to, we have found quite a number of positive cases. And we're able to treat those with early cancer. We treated them there on the spot with what we call the thermal ablation.
World Cancer Day is to create greater awareness of effects of cancer and actions to be taken to prevent, detect, and treat the disease.
It's important that everybody should read more about cancer. I want to know more about cancer because you could modify your lifestyle in so many ways to prevent them. You could also screen for cancers.
The theme, Close the Care Gap, medical experts say, is apt as it calls for collective efforts in bridging the widening gap in the provision of quality and palliative care to cancer patients.
His Excellency Samuel Oton graciously approved the renovation of 3 general hospitals in Benue. When you renovate those general hospitals and you ensure effective management of that place, it means that you have bridged the gap.
They emphasize screening as an important factor in the early detection and treatment of cancer, advising people to eat healthy, avoid high intake of alcohol, tobacco, but exercise regularly. In Makurdi, Blessing Omecha Ebute, NTA News.
On capacity building, Governor Samuel Otom says continuous human capacity building is a critical index in democratic governance, maintaining that the state will give emphasis to the training of its civil servants. The governor stated this while receiving a delegation of Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, at the Government House, Makurdi. Charles Abba reports that more than 500 civil servants have received training within a short time.
Leader of the delegation from the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, and Director of Studies, Goodluck Audu, emphasized human capital development as critical in good governance, which he said is a mandate of ASCON. He commended Governor Samuel Otom for facilitating the training of 500 civil servants in the state at a stretch.
Infrastructural development without commensurate human capital development will lead to unsustainable outcomes.
Governor Samuel Otom, who appreciated the honor done him, acknowledged the strides of the college in training civil servants, noted that the civil service is the engine room and machinery for effective implementation of the programs and policies of government. The governor, who has added that he is committed to the collective vision of Benue State, mandated the head of civil service to ensure annual training of the state civil servants by ASCON.
Like you rightly observed, human capital development is very key. Yeah, you can have all the money, you can have all the resources around all that, but if you don't train and build the capacity of those working with you, there will be a lot of leakages and wastes.
In Makudi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
And that's it from Makudi. Nationwide continues with Lami in Abuja.
Thank you, Fatima. Now, key players in Nigeria's petroleum sector have linked the breakdown of the country's refineries to the importation and distribution of petrol, with methanol quantity above Nigeria's specification, calling for due diligence in the investigation. This was on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, while discussing matters arising from toxic fuel imports into Nigeria. Lucia Adiabo has the details.
The liner that brought in the fuel was identified and was directed to be isolated, only for the product to somehow get into the system.
It's just a failure on the side of the people doing the inspection and a failure of the people also at the receiving end, because both ends, there are standards.
Alex Ney there expressing dismay over the importation of adulterated petrol as consumers grapple with fuel shortage resulting in long queues at various stations across the country. But with correctional measures already taken by withdrawing the contaminated PMAs, Olumide Adeosun, Chairman Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria, says investigation is on course.
What we as the industry at least are focused on is ensuring that we are dealing with the restock of products back in the supply chain, remediation of the dirty fuel, and reconciliation to make sure that costs associated with the cleanup are placed where they belong.
Others on the program gave insight.
Now we have the Petroleum Industry Act, and we have two regulators that have power. The regulator in this instance is the authority, the midstream and downstream authority, and as you can see, they're already taking charge.
We also have gone out on our own to engage regulators who are involved in all of this. Also, we're looking at the issue of one, the consumer has suffered, like I said, some economic losses.
The guests were unanimous in their expectation that producers and providers of the dirty fuel will be held accountable for substandard services. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
Boost of new skills in fashion, beauty and catering with equipment to supply their trade, courtesy of the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DPOA. Defense correspondent Naja'atu Tijani reports.
For months, these women, some of them widows, have been burning the midnight oil for a change of status. Now, their hard work has paid off as they are now certified in fashion, beauty and catering, among other new skills. They have now converged on the DPOA Skills Center to receive reward for their hard work. Acquiring new skills is only half of it, as the DPOA president, while acknowledging the support of the Chief of Defense Staff in providing equipment and other resources, says this 11th batch of graduates will impact positively on society.
DPOA hopes to continue being a vessel that supports and uplifts the good work of our husbands. Dear graduates, you must make hay while the sun shines.
I appreciate and thank the DPOA president for this initiative. 63 is not a small number.
Former First Lady and one-time DPOA President Mariam Abacha, herself a widow, agrees.
A lot of people, all of you have watered that seed. It's a big giant tree now.
To whom much is given, much is expected. And in addition to equipment and other supplies, DPOA has also provided funds to rent business premises for 1 year to further ensure the success of the graduates. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
The Director General, National Youth Service Corps, has cautioned co-producing institutions on abuse of the NYSC mobilization process. Speaking at the 2022 pre-mobilization workshop in Abuja, Major General Shuaibu Ibrahim noted that national sanctions apply to defaulting institutions. Olanka Uju reports.
Are student affairs officers and other relevant stakeholders in the NYSC mobilization process.
There is a growing trend of disparity between upload by core-producing institutions and the information supplied by prospective core members during online registration.
Adamawa is the student affairs officer, College of Agriculture, Jalingo, and a participant at this workshop. His knowledge and experience of the NYSC mobilization process paints the picture of some issues.
One of our basic challenges in most cases is to our various students. The challenge is sometimes you discover that when a student has been given admission, he will be coming with 2 names. But when he go to JAM to register, he will be registering with 3 names.
To nip in the bud some of these concerns outlined by Yeba and others, this workshop seeks the enhancement of the credibility of the mobilization process through effective data control.
We are not letting down our guard as we have continued to evolve and enhance control measures, including those that are technological driven.
The pre-mobilization workshop also applauded government's approval for the setting up of NYSC TV. Olanka Uju, NTA News.
Over 100,000 out-of-school children are set to be enrolled back to school in Adamawa under the State Better Education Service Delivery for All, BESDA. Yusuf Jika reports that already the program has captured the attention of caregivers and received their blessings.
Adamawa State is battling with the syndrome of out-of-school children due to lack of good government policies, belief, and poor economic background. The narratives is said to be gradually changing through various intervention programs by federal and state governments in turning around the fortunes of the future leaders. The launch of over 102,000 out-of-school children back to school, facilitated by Better Education Service Delivery for All, is one of the programs out to champion the cause of reducing out-of-school children, improving early literacy, as well as strengthening transparency and accountability to achieve results.
Adamawa has enrolled a large number of out-of-school children, ranging from Almajiris, Nomas, Girl Child, in 12 local government areas. They were trained and are being mainstreamed into our conventional primary schools.
It is hoped that by the time the next enrollments are done, the story of out-of-school children in the state will be a thing of the past.
Governor Amadou Marofentri of Adamawa State said education is key to success and that this sector must be given topmost priority to guarantee accelerated development.
In the previous year, through the BESA program alone, Adamawa State was able to reduce the number of out-of-school children by 51,205.
Stakeholders on the event promised to work for the realization of the initiative because of its value to the society. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
And we now move to Kwara, where the final ceremony of the state Quran recitation competition has been held in Ilorin, with a call on parents to ensure their children acquire both the Western and Quranic education. Aisha Abubakar Yahya reports.
The of Al-Quran was displayed as commanded by Allah to read the Holy Quran with one's sweetest voice. The event is a culmination of various painstaking and keenly contested stages of the competition, which started from the local government level. The idea is to further improve the quality of participants through ensuring series of competitions to prepare them for the national stage of the competition. Speakers at the event, including the representative of the governor, commended the organizers and called on parents to accord priority to both Western and Islamic education of their children.
I commend the reciter by their commitment to Islamic education.
education and encourage them to grow along honorable path.
The guest lecturer, Professor Nasser Abdusalam, while delivering his lecture entitled Merits of Quran and Battle of its Memorization, stressed the need for Muslims to strive to understand the meaning of the Quran they memorize for a better society.
It is Al-Quran that enables us to establish what are the facts, what are the wrong things.
Awards were presented to the winners of different categories of the competition. Aisha Abubakar Yahaya, NTA News.
And Ibadan Network Center is next on our lineup, and Lanri is our guide. Good to see you, Lanri.
Residents of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, are still in shock over yesterday broad daylight robbery, which left 3 dead and several others injured. Rofia Animation Badmus brings us an update on the incident.
Where the unfortunate daylight robbery attack happened yesterday.
I was sitting here at the front of my shop, so along the way, we had a gunshot, and those armed robbers were putting on a police uniform. We even thought it was police, so the armed robbers stopped the bullion van and started shooting.
But after those people went, the armed robber, we saw that some people has been killed.
Watchers have continued to trail the attack on one of the bullion van belonging to a commercial bank in Idiape area of Iwo Road by unidentified gunmen, numbering about 7. Nigerians say justice must prevail over the lives of innocent victims.
We had 8 victims who were brought to us. Unfortunately, 2 of them died before they were dead on arrival, and of the remaining 6 that were brought alive, we lost one of them after over 2 hours of battling for his life. The other 5 are doing well. 3 of them have been discharged.
There is known to be a commercial area and an axis that leads to various parts of the metropolis. The robbery attack, which lasted for just 20 minutes, was said to have claimed lives, while several others were injured. In Ibadan, Rofia Animation Badmus, NTA News.
Global awareness, sensitization, as well as early detection are key to stem the tide of breast cancer scourge into society. This is the take of experts on possible eradication of cancers. Correspondent Omokende Igbari's report is here presented.
The work is to, among other objectives, raise the awareness on the debilitating nature of cancers. Participants cut across different non-governmental organizations, students from selected schools, and officials of the Ministry of Health moved from the popular Bodija market through major streets, climaxing at the Oyo State Ministry of Health, where a press conference on the theme, Close the Care Gap, was held.
We have school outreaches. We are catching them young. We want young advocates, because really these days we have young girls having breast lumps. What's the gap? The cancer gap. And funding is a major gap. Most of the people that decided to have cancer don't have money for this thing. So we really want the government, when the NGOs to come out.
Doing a lot of things by carrying out free certificate cancer. We are taking across the local government.
They are usually at very early stage where they are treatable or curable. Make sure that even when you have breast cancer, you are not going to. Earlier, women in Oyo State were advised to take advantage of designated government hospitals for affordable cancer screening and treatment. Female students were also educated on self-examination and care.
Nationwide continues with more.
Welcome back. You're watching Nationwide from Maiduguri. Stakeholders in the education sector have advocated for adequate funding of education in Borno towards attaining standards in the basic and secondary school education that have suffered significantly from the Boko Haram conflict. These were views of stakeholders during a 2-day retreat by Borno State Education Trust Fund on funding of education for board members and staff of the organization. Abubakar Musa reports.
The two-day retreat on funding of education organized by the Borno State Education Trust Fund in collaboration with University of Maiduguri was equally a performance appraised and an opportunity by stakeholders in enhance the learning process. Declaring the retreat open, Borno State Governor, represented by his Chief of Staff, Professor Isa Marte Hussaini, drew attention of the board to look into teachers' welfare and school-age enrollment. Professor Marte explained that Governor Zulum has special interest in educational activities, hence the reason why the education sector has the lion's share in the Borno State Budget 2022, and suggested inclusion of the funding of education for nurseries as first step in the learning system. Given an overview on the unprecedented achievements of Borno State Education Trust Fund, Executive Secretary of the Board, Maina Yaomi, described Governor Zulum as a visionary and compassionate leader who had focused on transforming all sectors of human endeavor, particularly the education sector, which he explained has received priority attention in recent times. Vice Chancellor, University of Maiduguri, represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Professor Mohammed Alamin Meli, dwelled extensively on the importance of the retreat and called on the participants to ensure that the lessons learned are translated into concrete realities to advance the cause of educational development. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Musa, NTA News.
Worried by incessant violence, kidnapping, and other security concerns in the school system, an all-encompassing approach is therefore required as Peace Ambassador Center for Humanitarian Aid and Empowerment organized a step-down training for education stakeholders on Safe School Initiative. The one-day seminar for educators, learners, security personnel, PTA, and a wide range of actors in the school system took place at the Government Girls College, Maiduguri. And Yagun Subukar reports.
The Safe School Initiative is a program that concerns best practices from global standards and initiatives on how to safeguard schools properly as environments for learning and teaching. Following the recent training program carried out by Development Research and Project Center for Stakeholders in Abuja, the beneficiaries of the training from Borno State stepped down the training for education stakeholders in the state for the sake of posterity. Ambassador Ahmed Shehu of Peace Ambassador Center for Humanitarian Aid and Empowerment observed that the training aims at stopping all forms of disruption in education, especially security threats from within and outside the school.
Without safe and secure education, we cannot be able to have an enabling environment. So I think it's our responsibility, all of us, to get that.
Borno State Commissioner for Education, represented by the Ministerial Secretary Sadiq Kadufur, enjoined stakeholders to utilize the training received, as Zulum administration will fully support any recommendation that will improve the standard of education of pupils in the state.
The ministry is happy with this, and then we will give every maximum support that we will have to support this organization from toe to the head.
The training involved breakdown of the Safe School Initiative training in proactive early warning signs and systems to prevent danger and establishment of a state tax team on the Safe School Initiative. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
Those are the stories from this end. Nationwide returns to Abuja.
Thank you, Mohammed. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abia State Command, says the renewed war against operators of illegal refineries is yielding positive results, as a total of 8 illegal refineries were destroyed in one local government area of the state by the officers and men of the command. The commandant in the state, Ayla Tayolu, made this known while briefing newsmen in Umuahia. Kingsley Ononu has the details.
The 8 illegal refineries were destroyed in Okwa West local government area of the state. No arrest was made in the course of destructions of the illegal oil facilities owing to the difficult terrains of their locations.
We are in Okwa West local government to continue with the operation of getting rid of illegal refineries. We were able to destroy about 8. We disconnected their pipe from the main pipe of Shell and NNPC.
The NSCDC commandant also revealed that arrangement is being made between the command and other sister security agencies to jointly carry out all clearance operations. He commended the Commandant General of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Abubakar, for his massive support to men and officers of the command, which he says has been motivating them in the successes recorded so far. In Umahia, Ken Silionaniwu, NTA News.
And inadequate and inaccurate information as the disposal of rural dwellers along boundary corridors of Taraba and Plateau states seems to be a major obstacle towards finding a common ground in solving boundary issues between the two states. That notwithstanding, Kenneth Nanim reports that both parties are now on the same commitment pedestal towards solving the boundary issues.
The creation of Taraba State in 1991 came with a lot of good developments. But, as it often happens, establishing new territorial boundaries is never a foregone conclusion. This has been the experience along boundary corridors of Karim Lamido local government area of the state and its Wase local government area counterpart of Plateau State. The lines seem blurred as the arguments mount along traditional, historical and official lines. As part of efforts to solve the disputes and for easy tracing of the boundaries, pillars were laid for proper demarcation. Now, the National Boundary Commission is saying that some of those pillars are no more visible in the affected areas, and the modalities to replace them is amongst the terms to be decided here.
So we are appealing to the state boundary committees, the local government areas concerned, and the border communities to cooperate so that we can in place these pillars, so that we can have permanent solution to issues of uncertainties as to the boundary alignment.
And the Deputy Governor of Taraba State is standing on his own pillar of logic. He is convinced that adequate information and reorientation of the people is key to achieving the desired success.
Some of them feels that by the time they in place the pillars, they feel that they might be asked to leave the place. And honestly, there are some mischievous people that have been telling them that, and that's not the truth. And what we need to do is to sensitize our people. Sensitize them in the sense that some of them have been brainwashed that once those boundary pillars have been in place, they are going to be displaced. But that's far from the truth.
Our traditional rulers and our brothers are the people that live along the boundary lines. And so the solution is in their hands. The traditional rulers, they are here. They know the boundary. If you ask them, they will tell you, look, this is the boundary. Except if they don't want to tell us the truth.
Taraba State had in an earlier section of the boundary disputes agreed with Benue State to demarcate the boundaries in accordance with the 1923-24 description after further discussions with the Internal Boundary Technical Committee. In Abuja, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The federal government is carrying out a major rehabilitation on Kano River irrigation facilities cutting across 3 local government areas. This led to the shutdown of water supply and suspension of agricultural activities in the area. Musa Aliu visited the irrigation site and filed in this report.
This is how the arable land along Hadeja Jamari irrigation project in Kano State used to look like. Busy with agricultural activities all year round since its establishment 4 decades ago. Located in Bunkuri, Kura and Garumala local government areas of Kano State.
And you know the major producers of wheat in Kano lies between Kura, Garumala, Bunkuri, where the irrigation activities were undertaken.
Today, the whole area is empty, dry and windy. This is because its source of water, which is Tiga Dam, housing about 1 billion cubic meters of water, has been shut down for the first time in 40 years. Last year, we were notified that water supply will be shut down for rehabilitation and will be completed in March this year, he says. The irrigable area is not idle anyway, but busy with heavy-duty equipment operating and rehabilitating water canals along the 22,000 hectares. Few farmers like Ismaila Wandara looked for alternatives to get water for their crop. Unfortunately, the source of water dried up at the time the tomatoes and onions he planted are at fruiting stage. Source of income for this group of women is also put on hold. Their primary duty is separating grains from chaff and get paid with cash or crop. There is no major job available for them since the commencement of this year's dry season farming activities.
The rehabilitation of the irrigation facilities is a welcome development. By the time the work is completed, we will have access road and water will be easily available.
Farmers alongside agriculturists are of the view that Kano and environs will experience shortfall in the supply of rice, wheat and vegetable this year. But when the rehabilitation is completed, they said it will further boost agricultural activities in the area. From Kura in Kano State, Musa Aliyu, NTA News.
Now, the Federal Mortgage Bank has refuted reports on the social media that its boardroom and operational documents were destroyed in the fire that broke out on Wednesday. Authorities of the bank spoke to journalists after touring the facility to confirm the extent of the damage. Charles Alfa reports.
Recent fire disasters reported across Nigeria put the value of the country's lost assets at 18.9 trillion naira, with several deaths and unaccounted figures of traumatized victims. To surmount the challenge, Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola says an electronic application will be deployed to detect and manage fire disasters across critical establishments.
Electronic device that once there is fire, will signal the nearest fire station. Rather than agonizing when there is fire outbreak, please endeavor to call. And in 7 minutes, the Federal Fire Service agent will get to you.
Former Controller General of Federal Fire Service, who is officially bowing out of service, rolled out his achievement with a plea for sustained commitment.
Federal Fire Service don't got the approval of purchase of additional 44 modern firefighting trucks, 15 rapid intervention, 15 water tanker of dual purpose, 20 ambulances. Efforts have been made to deploy personnel and assets to 72 remaining senatorial districts, thanks to the commitment of the retired Controller General of the Federal Fire Service.
As a tradition to honor retiring officers, the Federal Fire Service bid farewell to the former Controller General in an open van as he acknowledged cheers from the crowd. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Nigeria will continue to strengthen her unity through the engagement of youths from diverse backgrounds competing to win medals. This was what the Minister of Works and Housing told a delegation from the University of Lagos while receiving the touch of the National University Games in Abuja. Abdullahi Muhammad has the report.
Hands firm on the burning flames of the touch, a symbol of the rallying point the National University Games provides in its last 26th edition. This uniting factor and exposure to the generation of Nigerians who follow the Games, Minister of Works and Housing say must be supported.
For the first time in the history of this country, this administration has included sports in its national and economic development plan. This is the first time.
Vice Chancellor of this year's host of the University Games, University of Lagos, say the university is set to make another history.
The last one that was hosted by University of Lagos was in 1998, and it was adjourned the best. And I want us to know that this one again will be the best, that other universities will struggle to beat the record.
Some of the games, according to the UNILAG delegation, will be competed at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, Lagos, instead of the Akuka campus of the university. In Abuja, Abdullahi Mohammed, NTA News.
You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page, NTA Network News, Twitter at NTA News Now, and Instagram, NTA Network for updates. And that does it on Nationwide at this time. We thank you for watching. I'm Lami Ali. Remember to always connect with the NTA in its campaign against rape and rapists. Have a wonderful weekend.